Welcome back to Candy's Homestead. I'm Donna. Yesterday I posted on my community page about doing a lot of mowing. As it turned out, it was 8 hours. I started mowing yesterday at 10 o'clock in the morning and I did not finish mowing until 6 o'clock. That's 8 hours of mowing on my property. Now, a lot of that has to do with the fact that I had to mow several layers. I had to chip one layer at a time off of the grass because it had grown so high from all the rain that we had the previous week and that tropical storm that came through. And let me say this, my grass is both a blessing and a curse. It's very healthy for no good reason. I don't do anything to it. I don't water it. I don't fertilize it. And that's a blessing because it grows beautiful, it's green, it's lush when I can keep it mowed. But it's a curse also because the smallest amount of rain, just a light afternoon shower, will make it jump up tall and thick the next day. And when I couldn't go a week without mowing, it was a disaster. If I'm on top of the mowing and keep it mowed to where it looks good, it's every 2 days. And so that's the curse part of all of this. I'm thankful to have good grass because there is a time in my life, in my younger years, were just a dread all the time to walk outside on my property because I lived in an area that was basically a sand pit. It was close to the beach. Couldn't grow grass for anything. And how I wished for grass. Now I have grass and it is a nightmare keeping up with it. It's okay if I can mow on a regular basis, but that doesn't always happen because one thing or another gets in the way. If it's not rain and storms, other chores get in the way and I don't quite get to it when I would like to. So that was a chore yesterday and I mowed nonstop with the exception of coming in to get something to drink, and I probably spent a half hour coming in to eat some lunch. Other than that, it was nonstop. I got everything except one small area behind my chicken yard. I've got to do some cleanup over there before I can even mow, so maybe I'll get to that today, I don't know. I'm going to be all over the place. But before I get started, I need to do an oil change on my mower because it was past due already, and with all of that, I had so much grass, still have a lot of grass piled up on the deck of the mower. I need to clean this thing off, get an oil change done, and then I can get back at it. I've also got a big job to do over at the chicken yard, both outside in the yard, their run, and in my chicken coop. That was in need before the rains came too, but the rains just made a nasty mess and I need to clean everything out and put some new shavings in their house and tidy some things up. And I need to do some repairs around the chicken yard, whether it be gates to the yard or little touch-up things around their housing that I've been noticing for a while. So I'm going to work on those things today, and depending on how long it takes me to finish that kind of stuff up, I may move on to something different, but right now I've got a big job ahead of me with the chicken yard. Now I'm going to get started on my oil change, and this mower is not the easiest thing in the world to change the oil. The oil drain plug is in a terrible place, and then the filter is in a terrible place, and it always makes a mess. I don't know why they designed it like this, but anyways, I'm going to get started on it and do the best that I can. Okay, I got my mower oil changed and a new filter. This is where the drain is, and back up under there is the filter. I made a mess, I had to clean it up. And while I was waiting on the oil to drain, this is my zero-turn mower, which I use almost every day, whether I mow or not. I use it to carry myself around on the property to save my knees and to save some steps. I've always done that. I drive the mower everywhere I need to go. I wish I had a golf cart, but it's not in the budget at present. But everywhere that I go with my mower, so does my tool trailer. This hooks up to the back of the mower here. I need to turn it around. But I thought while I'm out here, I would show y'all my tool trailer. It doesn't matter if I'm just going to go feed the chickens. I drag this trailer with me because no matter where I get on the property, whether it's the garden or the chickens or the goats or somewhere else on the property, it never fails. I need a tool. I need something because I'll notice something is broken or needs some kind of repair, and I hate running back and forth across the property to get things. So this is my tool wagon that I carry on a daily basis with me no matter where I go. I thought I would spend some time and I organized it. I have to do that every few weeks because I make a mess in it. And I'll show you what I have that I carry around that to me are my essentials. Now on the back, I've got a little bracket mounted right here, and I carry my weed eater. It goes everywhere with me. I've also got a place on the back of the mower where I can carry the weed eater, because if I'm mowing, I'll drop the trailer, wherever I'm mowing, and I will put the weed eater on the back of the mower. So I've got these things on both. I keep this little piece of hardware cloth with me. Normally I have several pieces. Something in the chicken yard always needs repair, so I've got that with me. I've got some tool, they're just little cases that I keep lots of stuff in to stay organized. And they have screws, they have washers, these are hooks of various types. And this is drip system, spare parts for the drip systems that I've got in the garden, which a lot of them are not working right now. I have discontinued the use of them, but I've got those. What have I got back here? This is just doodads. There's hinges, some tape, a marker. Ouch, that thing hurts. So those are the essentials that I keep in those cases. This is my garden tray. I keep my drills in that, and I keep some spare sprayers, because very, very often I will go to where a water hose is and find a sprayer that's leaking or messed up, so I keep a few spares. I've got one trowel here with me. The others stay in each garden. Got some scissors and some snips and some plant labels. This little tray I can pull out. I keep my drills there, and I've got one tape measure there, and then a little kneeling pad. This is a bucket of staples. They're fencing staples, yard staples. I have to replace staples here and there, so I keep that with me at all times. This is a little drawer that I keep a few things organized in. I've got some sprays. This is a fungicide. This is about empty. This is Captain Jack's tomato and vegetable spray to control some insects. I've got 2 things of bungee straps. This is staples for my staple gun. This is ant bait. This is one of those mesh things that I keep one in the chicken yard, well, at the chicken coop, and one in my greenhouse. And that's a new one I just bought that I need to install. These are just little cases that I keep things in because I use these often all over the property. These are 1/2-inch conduit clamps. I use them on PVC. I use them wherever I need them. And this is 1 inch. These are the 2 most common that I use. Over on the other side, I've got a 5-gallon bucket that stays in here, and it's for long things that just don't fit anywhere else. I've got a piece of PVC, really long screwdriver. I use this more for prying on things than I use as a tool. I've got 2 hammers in there, a spare sprayer, some loppers, bolt cutters, and a pry bar. And believe me, everything I have on here I use. I don't put anything unnecessary because I have a lot of tools, but I keep them elsewhere, and mainly in my she shed. But I don't keep anything on this trailer that I don't use regular. Here's a sprayer for weed control. Over here, this is a Tidy Cats bucket, an empty one. And I keep PVC plumbing pieces in it because I've got a lot of plumbing throughout the property. I've got plumbing over at the garden and the chicken yard, and I'm constantly having to make repairs, so I keep those pieces and parts here. I've got some cutters to cut the PVC, little connectors, but all of these stay down in this bucket. And then this is water hose and plumbing repair pieces, and some Teflon tape, and there's probably, yeah, I see at least one, some spare washers, rubber washers for the water hoses. And so all of those stay down in there. On this little, let me see if I can do this one-handed. There. I use a lot of these little plastic totes of different sizes. I use them everywhere, even inside my house. This is a tote that is just my essential hand tools that I need on a regular basis. I can tell you there's a couple of wrenches, there's some standard screwdrivers, flat and Phillips, short, tape measure, my staple gun, pliers, and a couple of small ratcheting sets. These are things that I use on a regular basis. The name of the game is to not have to run back and forth up to the house or to my tool barn to get things. This is my lifeline. I've shown this in videos. I leave zip ties all over the property in strategic locations because I use them so much, and I keep a selection of zip ties. I feel like I'm in Wonderland when I go to a hardware store and they have a big variety of zip ties. So I keep those handy. And then here are weed eater and mower parts. Mainly the only thing for mower is for my drain stuff, to drain the oil and such, but I keep a lot of weed eater string and spare spools of string in here. And I just keep these stacked, and I use that little strap give me a second. I use this little strap to hold this top one down so that when it's rocking and carrying on while I'm driving across the property, it doesn't fall off. This is all pretty heavy stuff here. And so that stays strapped on. So this wagon goes with me everywhere, and it was a mess. And there was water in some things because I did pull it into the carport for the storm and covered it with a tarp, but water still got in it, so I had to clean things up. And that I did while I was waiting on the mower oil to drain out. So this is clean and ready to go, and this wagon is my lifeline on this property. It's about time for me to pull out some spray paint and give it a touch-up. This wagon is old, but it has held up good, and it's a perfect size for me. It's lightweight. Well, it's not super lightweight, but it's light enough that I can pick up the tongue of it by hand and move it out of the way. And we installed this thing right here on the back of the mower, and so it hooks onto the back of the mower and it goes everywhere I go. So I'm ready to get out of this carport and go out to the chickens and get some work done out there. In order for me to clean the chicken coop out, I need my tractor. So let's get the tractor and you can ride with me. I go over to the chicken yard to do the work over there that I had planned on doing. Somebody shows up, we had company for a while, and I had to stop my video, so I did not get video. I haven't even cleaned it yet, so that's still going to be another day. Hopefully one day this week I'll be able to get over there and get to it. But I did get a lot of other things accomplished that I'm really happy about. I got a lot of work accomplished in my front garden, and I'm out here in my back garden, and Lord have mercy at the peppers that I'm about to harvest. They are beautiful. This will be, I don't know, the third or fourth round of peppers that I've gotten. They're dropping a lot of leaves. I'm not really sure why, but the plants seem healthy enough, and this late in the season I'm not even worried about it. So I've got my paprika peppers, which I've done a video showing harvesting that, but I'm going to harvest those today. And finally, my pimento peppers have matured and they're ready to be harvested. And this is the first year for me growing these pimentos. I'm excited about that. Let me show you the peppers. Look at all of these peppers. They are beautiful. And the plants, I hope you can see just how many there are because the sun is so bright. I'm going to get these things harvested right now. Pimento peppers. Now, a few of them has some bad spots right there like that, but I'll cut around that. This is the first year for these. Not too bad. Can't turn it too much or I'll dump them out. That's not too bad. I think while I'm here, I'm going to clean this bed out. It's full of debris, so I'm going to clean it out. Okay, got that cleaned out and gave the peppers a good deep watering, and I've watered everything else out here. I did harvest a few green beans, but I forgot to show them. They're in the bottom of the basket that the peppers are in. I'm gonna do some cleanup out here. Y'all, I've also been meaning to show you my pecan tree. It's producing pecans this year. Well, it's got some age on it. It's about 20 years old, and it does put out pecans every year. But if we have a tropical storm, they generally all get blown off, or a hurricane. And the tropical storm we had last week was not strong enough to hurt the pecans. Let me move back so you can see the tree. Got some webworms in the tree. I hate that. Those that I can reach, I need to try to get them out. But anyways, that's my pecan tree. I've got another one over near the chicken coop, and maybe we'll have some pecans this year. It's probably been 4 years since we've had any pecans. They've all been blown off the tree before they were mature enough to use. Maybe this year I'll be able to have some pecans. So let's see what is going on out here in this back garden. My fig tree is doing pretty good. I forgot what this is. It's a form of dianthus, but it's not blooming right now. Yellow rose bush, my small fig. This petunia is hanging in there. It's a little scraggly, but it's hanging in there. I have 2 beefsteak tomatoes. I've got some worms. Some worm action going on. I did spray with BT. My little asparagus fern is about to burn up in this heat. It does not like the heat. My turmeric is hanging in there, a little weathered. Spider plant. These petunias, in combination with some yellow roses, they look white, but they bloom yellow and then eventually turn white. I did pick green beans. I mentioned it before. They're in my basket. This is bush green beans, and they have been pitiful this whole summer. They're putting out, but just not very well. Here's another spider plant. It's a little tight in this little arch right here. This is the only thing that's doing great back here besides my peppers, is these roses. My Rose of Sharon, everything needs to be fertilized. Well, in the middle of that, right after the roses, it started raining on me and I had to rush to get all my tools and my wagon and my mower brought inside. I had a lot more I was going to show that I've accomplished in the last couple of days, and I've been anxious to show because anybody who has seen any recent videos knows that I was out of commission for quite a while, and everything just kind of, you know, started getting overgrown, and I've been working one day at a time for the last 2 weeks, pretty steady, trying to whip everything back into shape. Like I said, there was more that I wanted to show you that I have gotten accomplished, but it's raining. You can see it behind me. So I'll end this video, and the next video I'll show everything that I was wanting to show. And until then, I will see you on the next video. Y'all have a great day. Bye-bye.